So something weird happened today on the 700 Club. Pat Robertson actually made a little bit of sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am a gun owner. I have hunted. I have shot skeet. I've gotten awards when I was in the Marine Corps for shooting. I've got no opposition whatsoever to shooting. But for heaven's sakes, I don't think that the general population needs to have automatic weapons. It just doesn't have to have Russian-built or Chinese-built machine guns. It just doesn't. I mean, it's one thing to defend yourself with a pistol or a shotgun to hunt with. Something else to have, and I think we can ban those things without too much trouble. And they have what they call bump stock that was, you hit it, and it would go automatic. And I mean, we can stop that. And then there has to be some medical background check. If somebody is seeing a psychiatrist, is on medication, he or she needs to be prohibited from being turned loose to the general population. It's just got to be, it's sensible. But as far as the right of the people to keep and bear arms, the Second Amendment, and we're all for it.
It's amazing what senility does. Wow. Pat Robertson just said, you know what? We could ban bump stocks and we could ban assault rifles. Sounds like a good plan. Wow. It is official. We are now in the twilight zone. Here you got Donald Trump calling for background checks, saying that, hey, Jeff Sessions, let's go ban bump stocks. And now you have Pat Robertson calling for an assault weapons ban. And by the way, I love how we did the lead up to this, right? I'm a gun owner. I hunt. I shoot ski. I get awards. I love guns. Guns are fantastic. And I love shooting things. But, and I love that, right? But even he sees that maybe we shouldn't have these weapons of war available to the citizenry. It's sensible. Pat Robertson said it's sensible. Oh, what the hell is going on here? I have no idea. But I actually agree with most of that. Now, of course, I do have the problem with talking about, the mental health, right? Because really, it's not really so much a focus or a problem with mental health. It's a pretty good scapegoat to basically not focused on the guns, but even so, he's like, look, background checks to catch mentally ill people, plus we can ban these certain guns. It's something, I think it's more than any of us could have ever imagined coming from the right wing, where he makes sense. So now here's my speculation, right? So again, this goes back to my cynicism. My speculation on this for President Trump, Trump's got no ideology. This guy's like Mr. Burns. If you guys ever watched The Simpsons, the Frank Grimes episode, you'll see that, like, oh, he sees a sob story about Frank Grimes. I got to hire this guy. And then sees another sob story about something else, completely forgets about it. That right there, I think, is consummate Trump, right? He sees a sob story, he reacts. So in this case, he sees victims on TV, especially, teenagers, right? And maybe he talks to some Democrats. Because remember, Donald Trump, when you talk to him, the last person in the room usually gets heard. And so maybe in this case, somebody who's like a little bit more liberal on gun control would be like, hey, man, look, we got to do something about the background checks and stuff like that. Because this is going real bad. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. So not only that, but look, background checks are really actually pretty popular. Most people want to ban bump stocks and things like that. So there you go. And add in the fact that Trump likes to actually make deals with people. And you start to see where he's getting some of his ideas. Now, some of you will point out, hell, I've pointed out, that his budget cuts mental health funding and background checks. So, yes, he's saying one thing, but doing a completely other. But at the same time, do you think he actually reads the budget? No, of course he doesn't read the budget. He doesn't read. The most that he reads is tweets. So understand that. But oddly enough, here's overall what I think is going on here. It is the effect of the cult and Trump. And why do I say that? Because what Daddy Trump says goes. For conservatives, conservatives love authoritarian leaders. So Trump says, maybe we should look at banning bump stocks, which the NRA actually will allow. Then they go, okay, Trump also says, I want to ban, or I want to get more background checks, and I want to focus on mental health. The NRA also says, well, it's not really a solution, but we can let that go because that's not going to impact our ability to sell more and more guns. So what this is that, yes, these are Band-Aids. Now, I'll take it for now, but let's be honest about what we're actually getting here. And so you've got some of these right-wingers in here that are now like saying, yeah, you know what? I'm on board. And another factor here that I think is interesting is it's no longer Obama in charge. Now they got their guy in charge. And now less people are fearful of the government, at least on the conservative side. So instead of the narrative of Obama's coming to take your guns, which never happened, which was always bullshit, here we've got Trump now being able to say, don't worry, Trump's not taking your guns. What he's doing, he's trying to protect the children against the people with mental illness. And so that's your framing here. Okay. So now look, is this stuff going to happen? Are we going to ban bump stocks? There's a possibility. Maybe. Are we going to get background checks? Possibly, maybe. I don't know if this is going to be enough to counteract the NRA money. But it is an interesting change of rhetoric on the part of both Pat Robertson and Donald Trump. So, I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot of right-wingers that are going this way. But still, it is kind of fascinating to watch. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get something out of this that will help prevent more deaths. And look, if that happens, I will give President Trump the credit for it. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.